the issue that has to do with the Austria ambassador to Kenyan ambassador to Austria, that is former Cabinet Secretary Dr. Ali Hassan Wario, who is expected to be in court. But what we understand now is that there are suspects in connection to the Rio fiasco that are in court, for officials, among them Richard Ekai, who is the former principal secretary, and Stephen Soy, who is former head of the mission that was in Rio. We're expecting that Dr. Hassan Wario to be before court. Of course, there was that directive last Saturday that he should be in Nairobi within 24 hours from Saturday. Then that has already expired, so we're hoping to see if they will be in court, of course, to respond to the charges that they mismanaged the mission to Rio, and specifically about 55 million Kenya shillings in that what was referred to as mismanagement of the resources that were given to Team Rio in the Rio Olympics back in 2016. So that is the case there. I don't know if we can listen into what is going on in the courtroom.
Is as follows: Miss Mwangi, Apollo Habisi, Miss Relaju.
Right, so those are just some of the suspects in this Rio fiasco case before court. Of course, I can see that the prosecution or the counsel in court are just about to make submissions. Just to highlight why we are here, the suspects that are supposed to be charged are Hassan Wario Arero, who is the former Cabinet Secretary of Sports and currently the ambassador of Kenya to Austria, Richard Ekai, who is the former Principal Secretary at the ministry, and also the new ambassador of Kenya to Russia. Of course, he has not yet traveled to Russia. That's why he is in court. Then there's Haron Komen Chebet, who is a former Director of Administration, Ministry of Sports, and as well as Stephen Kiptanui Rapsoy, who is already in court, who was the Chief de Mission and also Deputy Treasurer for the National Olympics Committee of Kenya. Then there's Patrick Kimathi Nkabu, who is a former Finance Officer, Minister of Sports, Hezekiah Kipchoge Keino, who is the former President and Chairperson of NOC. Then Francis Kanyili Paul, the former Secretary General of NOC. They are facing 6 counts of abuse of office, contrary to Section 46, as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, number 3 of 2003. Then they're also facing 4 counts of willful failure to comply with the laws relating to the management of public funds, contrary to Section 45, as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act of 2003. And also they will be facing charges for embezzlement of 22.5 million shillings, also purchase of air tickets which were not utilized, amounting to 16.8 million shillings. These are air tickets to facilitate the Team Kenya to Rio, Brazil. And also they are also accused of overpayment of allowances amounting to 15.9 million shillings, and also incurring expenditure on authorized persons amounting to 6.5 million shillings. And accordingly, the Director of Public Prosecutions directed the DCI to immediately have the persons named under paragraph 4, or rather the few names that I read there, arraigned. And that is why we are at the Milimani locals right now. And he also directed that several individuals who are unlawfully facilitated by the above individuals with air tickets and allowances to travel to Rio, they are also supposed to be pursued, and the matter was referred to the Asset Recovery Agency so that all those monies that were paid to these beneficiaries can be recovered. And finally, he also directed that further investigations be conducted into donations made to the National Olympics Committee of Kenya and the contracts between NOCK or NOC and the Nike, and the utilization of monies realized therefrom. Of course, that very important factor in the sports world of Kenya as we wait for that case to be pursued and see what transpires in court. And unfortunately, we're not able to listen to the courtroom, but as I said, those are some of the suspects that are already before court. We'll be waiting to see when Dr. Hassan Wario comes back to the country, and also when he is taken before court to see how that is processed. And Joy, this has taken 2 years for it to be processed. I remember there's a story that was done by Wahiga Mora. I think that was in November 2016. 2 years down the line, this is when you're having the case taken before a judge.
Yeah. Justice, the wheels of justice, they say, spin a little slowly. But yeah, finally made it to court for this case.
And just to correct there, they are before a magistrate, not a judge. Matters to do with corruption and economic crimes are pursued, or rather they are pursued before a magistrate, not a judge, like we were at the High Court.